Dire's ban. Radiant's ban. Ten seconds to pick.
And hello everyone, good evening and good morning and good afternoon, whatever your time zone, and welcome to this, the 32nd game of the round robin stage of the Giant Bomb Community Dota Tournament 2014. The teams we have today are Begurubiado and Hammarby, and this is a Euro matchup, and Hammarby lost the toss, and Bebby, as I shall call them from now on, well, therefore won it, and they chose to play on the Radiant side, and that meant that Hammarby could choose first picks or bans. And the first ban coming out was a Tinker and a Skywrath Mage, and Bebby banned Razor and Lycan. And two very strong first picks for the teams, Faceless Void and Doom, have been picked. So let's move on to the second pick. Now, previously, Team Hammarby have been picking a very push-oriented lineup for their matches, of which they've so far played 2 in this tournament, and they've won them both by one means or another. And Begurubiado, is that the way you say it? I don't know. But they've played 3 and they've yet to win a match. They've dropped all 3 matches so far. And so we certainly have favourites if match results are any indicator of success, previous match results. But we shall see how this one goes. It looks like there's a different strategy to the one I'd come to expect from Hammarby this time, with a more of a farming lineup, if you can say that. But the Faceless Void and Invoker, there's a good synergy between them once Void gets his level 6, and he can create his Chronosphere, of which Invoker would then be free to Sunstrike any trapped enemies within that, so that's quite a powerful combo. But obviously Invoker, especially if he goes for a
only 10 seconds.
A Quas Exhort build for the
5 seconds.
Opening for his first opening levels, he'll be able to Sunstrike all over the map whenever he chooses, right from his very early levels. But all this, of course, can be offset somewhat by a player being doomed, and Doom is the ideal hero to do that with. That can make a hero unable to cast spells, and obviously take damage as well. Viper, another very strong early to mid game hero that can carry on into the late game, being picked for Team Bebby, and Vengeful Spirit picked as well. Now that's quite a nice stun combo and a swap that Vengeful Spirit can bring to the table here at this matchup. Shadow Shaman picked for Hammarby. Now this is a pushing hero. This is kind of what I've sort of come to expect from them, and doubtless we'll see some of those Serpent Wards in action, and also the Shackles, which is also quite a nice setup for the Invoker Sunstrikes, should they appear. Now we've got a couple more bans with the Brewmaster and Ancient Apparition on Hammarby side.
5 seconds remain.
Whilst Witch Doctor and Tidehunter have been banned from Begurubiado, Team Bebe's account. They didn't want to face up against those heroes, and Jakiro picked as the 4th pick. So we've got quite a nice range of stuns here from Team Bebe, and that can
only 10 seconds.
create an opportunity to
5 seconds. Hurry.
halt team fights in their tracks, or to give Viper a little bit of room to get a few hits off with his poison. Jakiro's stun's not the longest stun in the game. I think it's the second in the early levels, and I think it only goes up to 2.2 seconds, but it can disrupt a team fight. And what with his liquid fire spell, which causes damage over time and hits towers too, he's quite a useful hero. And I think he was considerably buffed in the latest patch, which now is kind of some time ago. And his ultimate ability, Macro Pyre, now goes an absolute long way. Certainly a lot further than it used to. And if you're sort of trapped sort of within a lane and you've got trees either side of it, and you've got a Macro Pyre, you've got a very long way to run to get out of all that hurt that Jakiro will be putting down on his ultimate ability.
5 seconds remain.
Nature's Prophet's picked up for Team Hammarby, and he is the
Reserve time.
archetypal split pusher, and he also has a bit of a global presence. Not only is he able to teleport anywhere on the map, but he also has his ultimate ability, Wrath of Nature, which hits all enemy heroes that are in range. Is that right? Or in vision, and those include the vision of his teammates too, I think. So we're just waiting for the final bans, then the final picks to come out from Begurubiado. And at this stage, I'd just like to ask anyone in the Twitch chat, is the sound coming through okay? I'd welcome some sort of response if anyone could care, just to let me know that they can hear my new microphones that
Radiant team pick.
I've just added to my setup. So we have a Mirana, Princess of the Moon ban from Begurubiado, and Storm Spirit ban from Team Hammarby. And now we're on to the final picks.
10 seconds to pick.
Team Bebe have eaten into their reserve time, and it
5
looks like
seconds.
they're getting to the end of their pick time, so they're going to be using up their full allotment of time.
Dark Seer.
In this phase, and Dark Seer picked,
Team pick.
potentially an off-laner. And again with some strong team fight potential with his wall and his vacuum, and also someone that can be potentially quite hard to face off against with iron shelling his creeps that can cause quite a bit of damage when you're trying to
Only 10 seconds.
last hit them.
5 seconds remain. Reserve time.
Hammarby easing into their reserve now, and waiting for this final pick, then we can get the game underway and see what happens. But it looks like we've got two very strong teams being picked here, and we've got some interesting heroes. Shadow Shaman, nice pick with a Faceless Void. I mean, if Void can get his ult off and Shadow Shaman can get his mass serpent ward off, as long as the serpents aren't within the chronosphere.
10 seconds to pick.
That can cause some huge damage.
5
So I'm
seconds.
seeing a little bit more synergy on the side of
Sniper.
Team Hammarby, and final pick Sniper. I think they've picked this before in their match, I think against the 90s Knicks Assassins, and used Sniper to great effect with his decent burst damage and decent long range damage, and his ability to kind of skirt the edge of a team fight. But still, there is Avenge on the other team. I think just like there was a Vengeful Spirit on the other team in 90s Knicks tape team that Hammarby fought before,
Only 10
and the
seconds.
danger of getting swapped into the middle of a team fight for Sniper can be quite overwhelming. Gosh, where's my F9 key gone? Why doesn't F9 pause?
Thirty seconds to video games. 30 seconds. Now, murder each other for my amusement.
So it looks like there's some stream sniping going on in this match. So perhaps I should always point the camera away from the action. In the interest of fair play. Or perhaps I should just... I've given the teams the option to play on, I think, and I think that's what they've both elected to do. So if they can get anything from my rather cruddy casting technique, then that's the way the match is going to have to be played. So to introduce the teams, on Team Bebi we have Chenju playing on the Jakiro, and Bulbasaur in the jungle trying to pull a wave of creeps and successfully doing that. And Bulbasaur's playing the Vengeful Spirit. And it looks like we're going to get one last hit on McZack, who was playing Darkseer, but was caught up in some Shadow Shaman shackles. Viper's mid, Fnatic Baghdadi
Top tower is being attacked.
on the Viper in the mid lane. And Doom is Puke No Nuke. Great names that this team has. Highly amusing. Now on the Dire side, we have 0R1M or Orim, I don't know, on the Nature's Prophet. Snipers mid, Talonas, and this was a strategy that Hammarby chose last time, to put Sniper mid. Invoker in the Dire safe lane, played by Bassets. Faceless Void playing solo off lane there.
Died as it lived, filled inwardly.
And I've missed a courier snipe. How Crispy would be very annoyed with me if he'd have known that I'd missed out on that.
Double damage.
So in this early game, I think we need to pull up the stats, see who's farming fastest, and it looks like that's Invoker, 16 and 5, and next up Doom in his safe lane with 16 and 1 deny, and Chenju hassling the Nature's Faceless Void away from getting his last hits. Orim or 0R1M in the jungle just popped to Clarity, I think, and doing a bit of jungle farming. Shadow Shaman coming up with the shackles, but then 0R1M TP's in, Sunstrike, and that sudden burst of speed from Darkseer wasn't quite enough. His surge. And Nature's Prophet gets the last hit on that. There was a very well executed team fight there, with Nature's Prophet just TPing in once the shackles have been cast, and the Sunstrike coming down too. On the mid lane, Viper and Sniper keeping each other honest. Sniper has considerably more denies, but they're kind of quite even here on the last hits. And I should have guessed Nature's Prophet would have probably got that courier. Of course, it's a common strategy. Oh, I didn't know where that Sunstrike was going to land. It sounded like a Sunstrike was landing somewhere, and I think it was that it wasn't in the mid lane.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
We do have Doom and Chikiro trying to gang up a little bit there on Faceless Void. The Faceless Void is very slippery, what with his backtrack and his time walk. He can be very evasive, and also he looks like he has a poor man's shield, which mitigates quite a bit of damage, especially in these early stages of the game. Oh, I've missed out on another kill here. Looks like
Dominating. Two down.
looks like the Dire team have decided to do a concerted attack in the
Into a state
Radiant
of
safe lane,
orange.
and there's 3 Radiant characters down, and the score stands at 5-0 in terms of player deaths.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
And Hammarby certainly up in the team fights at the moment. the way they can synergise together and all of a sudden be in a certain place is not to be underestimated.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
After 7 minutes of play, I'll just have a quick look at the experience graph, which is over 4,000 in favour of Hammarby, and that's mirrored in the gold. No towers down at the moment. This is all relates to hero kills and perhaps no Midas's. Anyway, Invoker in trouble. The gank was about to come into him, but he seems to have
Acceptable amount of ownage.
seems to have evaded that one, and Venge goes down instead. Score 7 to Hammarby, and BB have yet to get a kill. But of course, this game's not about kills; it's about objective. It's about getting towers down and ultimately attacking the enemy's ancient. And Shadow Shaman, who's level 6, and had he the mana, would be able to start putting down his mass serpent wards. There's a little bit of a mana shortage there at the moment. Not surprising, because some of the shackles he's put out have earned the team kills. He's currently 1-0-6, so he's much assistance. Meanwhile, whilst I've been talking, there's been all sorts of action in the mid lane, and Viper, I think, went down to a Sunstrike. Now Faces Void's in with his Chronosphere, and it looks like Jakiro's down as well, and it also looks like Venge is down too. At 10-0, but Hammarby, for at least 2 or 3 of their heroes, might need to
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
regenerate a little bit of health before the next attack. Faces Void running back to the
bottom tower under fire.
bottom lane. I hear in the distance the sound of another sniper assassinate. And the mass serpent wards are up. Is Viper going to go down? He's very low health. Sniper's running after him. In the meantime, Venge has come in and stunned Shadow Shaman.
Quantity of murder, both ownage.
And there's yet another kill I've missed. Not too sure what's happened there, and one could think I'm doing this to
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
somehow hijack the stream so the teams aren't getting any advantage of what's going on in the game. But I'm honestly trying my best.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
Faceless Void and Nature's Prophet about to take the
Radiant's
first
middle
tower of the game.
has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
And now Void
Radiant's middle
farming
tower is taking
Radiant's
damage.
jungle. I have a couple of TPs up in the top lane. It looks like there's going to be some action possibly. Observer ward gets put down.
Accordance with
Radiant's
the
middle
rules of
tower is
data,
taking
ownage
damage.
has been initiated.
And Voker turns himself invisible, but there was a dust, and we have a nice path laid down, which enabled Viper to put down quite a bit of heavy fire on Invoker despite his invisibility, and that's the first kill. Now goes to Team Bebby,
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
and well done to them for getting that. That was kind of a nice setup, and they were well prepared there with their dust to
Radiant's
make
bottom
sure
tower is being attacked.
they could see Invoker. The creep wave's pushed all the way down to the T2 at the bottom tower, and so Doom's just
Tower is being attacked.
seeing what he can do to clear that up. And it looks like Nature's Prophets coming behind the team Bebe that were trying to do something in the top lane, and Bebe backed out of this team fight, I think. Right, they're back behind their T1 tower, but the serpent wards have been placed down, and it looks like this tower is gone.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Continuing the march down the top lane, and there's a sprout on Viper, but Viper manages to get his ult off, but there's a big meatball coming from Invoker, and Faceless Void is doing his time walk, and
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
gets rid of Viper. Now the T2 tower looks like that's going to be going down there.
Radiant has lost their top tower.
Looks like GG call's been made. And that's an early bath for Team Begurubiado and Team Hammarby. Dire team win this game, and well, that was a bit of a domination there. But these teams are at different ends of the ladder at the moment, as you could call it. So it was kind of to be expected, but I think well played both sides. Be sure to catch some more Giant Bomb Community Tournament games. I think we have 5 in all today. This was the first. There's 4 more coming later on, and they stretch well off into the evening. And we still have nearly 100 more games to arrange with all these teams, and so there's going to be plenty of data to watch as far as the Giant Bomb Community Tournament is concerned. I've been Diz, and thanks very much for watching.